For today's BCP rider tip, we're going to be doing lofting the front wheel. Now, it's something in motocross terms we tend to think of as a bit of an elite technique, but in actual fact, it's something that most bush riders out on a bit of a weekend trail through the forest would do so often, lofting their front wheel over a fallen tree or through a washout, for example. But it is a little bit tricky to learn how to do. Once you've got it down pat, you're going to find yourself lofting your front wheel over all kinds of stuff. It's a much safer and faster way of tackling a lot of sections, doesn't matter what element of dirt biking you're into. We don't have a bump or a jump a lot of the time to be able to initiate that front wheel starting to come up. Give it that nice punch of power with a bit of a slip of the clutch. Make sure we keep our body weight nice and central, and you'll find that that front wheel will pop up. We don't want to get our body off the back of the bike when we start to loft our front wheel. The slightest bit of a mistake with that front wheel up too high, you're hanging off the back of the bike, can end up with a big loop out. So one of the first steps when you're going to give it a little bit of a try, and something that I recommend for any beginner that hasn't done this before, is mark themselves out a bit of a line on the track. You'll be able to see the exact point where you want to loft that front wheel. Once you become quite experienced at this, you'll find yourself just naturally lofting the front wheel where you're supposed to do it anyway. It's good practice to be able to start off and just do little loftings of the front wheel, just a couple of meters, till you get control of that front end and what it's doing. Now, for you beginners out there, you'll find the hardest and trickiest part to this is not so much the lofting of the front wheel, but dropping it consistently on that second line. So with this particular section here, we're going to come through the corner. As we approach this jump, you don't want to slow down at all to be able to loft the front wheel. We need to carry good speed around the corner. As we approach the area that we want to loft the front wheel, we give it that bit of extra power, a little bit of a slip of the clutch, bring that front wheel up a little bit, and we're trying to get the front wheel to drop down the back side of the jump. You need to use your legs, grip as hard as you can on the bike, and force the back of the bike down so that it doesn't get a little bit of a kick as you come over the jump. For me personally, when I do this section here, I need to have made sure that I've gained so much exit speed coming out of the corner so that by the time I get here, just going to get that weight back a tiny bit, slip of the clutch, the front wheel will start to pop up from where this line is. Now, as we come through and we get to around about here, which I'm going to call mid-flight, you need to make sure you stay nice and central. The front wheel will be up nicely. We should have roughly about this much height from the front wheel. As we approach the jump, still very aggressive with the upper body as we come up over the top of the jump here. The front wheel needs to come down anywhere around about here where we're still on the gas nice and hard and accelerating down towards the main straight. So make sure you start it off properly, get that technique right, give it a bit of power and grip nice and tight with those legs as that back wheel hits the object, and you're going to have a safe and successful lofting of the front wheel. Get out there, give it a try, get amongst it. You're not going to know unless you give it a go.